Boom, I think we're in there. Can everybody still hear me back here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to stop being cheap and go ahead and buy a microphone. First and foremost, let me make sure it's actually live on YouTube before we do anything. We just waste our time, aren't we? And we are live.
Awesome.
We are live. Good to go. Welcome to Unpack Radio, where we unpack the issue. Today we'll be talking about fitness and mental health and all things to do with fitness and a few other topics that we came along with along the way. First and foremost, before we even start this lovely discussion we love to have once a month, will everybody introduce themselves and give a little brief background about their fitness journey. We'll start off with my man Jack and work our way around the circle.
All right. My name is Jack Starr. I'm a competitive powerlifter and personal trainer, and I just got into doing aerial performance, so I'm going to add that on my resume too. I got into the physical fitness realm because I was a PI for 8 years, and it's hard work, got fat, and yeah, just wasn't really keeping up with my fitness regimen, so I needed to make a change, and I've lost 30 pounds since then and gotten in shape and really started doing competitive powerlifting, and I love it.
That's what's up. Next, please.
All right, how you guys? Oh, you gonna go through first, Theo?
You can go ahead. I'll go
All
ahead.
right. My name is Ryan. You can find me on the internets at welfare gourmet tag you see under my face. I used to be a 300 plus pound fat guy. Picked up my first weight at 33 years old because I couldn't tie my own shoes. And by 40, I was on Team Canada for powerlifting. Topped out at a 1,600 pound total and 2-time over 40 North American champ. Recently retired from the sport at 46 to pursue other things. Still put up 1,500 pound total for the old man. So you got some work to do there, Jack and Norris, buddy, to catch up to the old man here. But I hope you both do it. And currently, I am going to try and find a new hobby this year, whether it's like Muay Thai, strongman, something. We're going to find something new. And my 9-to-5 job is a financial advisor. So I like to help young men both in the gym and with their credit scores and things like that, because that's just as important as your powerlifting total is that credit score, boys.
Facts. Next, please.
Yes, it's me. Well, as it says, my name is Theo, nickname Rick Vic. The Rick Vic comes from Rick Vicious. I used to be a music producer. And when I created beats, they would say that beat's vicious. So it was Rick Vic. Took the vicious off because they said it sounded like a stripper's name. So just made it Rick Vic. As far as my fitness experience, I started off as a model. I was a fitness model. I used to model for DC Fashion Week. I knew the owner that used to conduct DC Fashion Week every year. I went on to being published in a few magazines like Urban Ink magazine, Hip Hop Weekly. Took the fitness modeling stuff into actually bodybuilding, competing. Ended up, I used to compete with NPC, qualified for nationals there, but I figured, it was a lot of competition there. You're going against a lot of guys on different platforms, I'm gonna say. But decided to switch to NGA. Got my pro card with NGA. And yeah, I'm here. I haven't done no powerlifting meets yet. My boy Norris is trying to convince me to do one. I went to my first one with him not too long ago recently, and I'm thinking about it. That's where I'm at.
Sooner or later, we'll bring you on over to the dark side. All right, my first question. This is an interesting one. I try not to be too judgy, but, the Lord sometimes is interesting. And as we know, my coach cannot be here because he's recovering from an illness. So prayers up to Kevin. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. So this one is very important to me because he has no fucks to care. So why is it important to be honest with your client? And why is it important for your client to be honest with you? when you're coaching them. And as we know from Kevin, he cares no fucks and he's very honest. So, Jack, I know you coach a lot of people. So why is it important for you first and foremost to be honest with your clients and for them to be honest with you about their journeys?
Because, I have to give them, they're paying money for a service, and I have to make sure that I don't allow them to have unrealistic expectations of what that service entails. So, that's the first thing I want to make clear is that, you're not going to get 6-pack abs in 6 days or whatever they advertise on whatever commercial. And you're not going to gain 10 pounds of muscle in a year unless you're enhanced. And I like to be honest with my clients about that. I don't judge them. If they want to get enhanced, I just tell them, go to your doctor, get your blood work checked, make sure that you're taking the healthy route about it. There's no shame in getting enhanced as long as you do it, responsibly and healthy. So, just for health reasons, I like to be honest with my clients. And I like them to be honest with me. Recently, I had to part ways with one of my powerlifting clients because he told me he had an injury. And then I see him on IG stories, squatting over 300 pounds when I told him not to touch anything. And so, I told him, I'm like, look, I have to be honest with you. I'm not ready to put you on a platform right now because I don't know if you're going to listen to me when I give you, the weights that you're supposed to hit for each attempt. You could just do your own thing, and I can't trust someone on that. I don't want you to get injured. I can't have that on my conscience. So we both decided the best thing to do is to part ways. So honesty is essential in what I do because, it can lead to injuries if people are not telling you everything that's going on with their diet or exercise. And, when you're honest with me, we can make progress a lot faster.
That is very true. Bro, Ryan.
This goes for me all directions in my day job and my job in the gym or coaching guys. Garbage in, garbage out. You give me garbage data, you're going to get garbage results. You need to be honest with your bartender. You got to be honest with the tax man. You got to be honest with your personal trainer, your coach. If you give me bad information, I can't help you out. And there's no secrets. There's no that. You don't. And this goes even in my financial advisor job. I see everyone's dirty laundry looking at their tax returns and pay stubs and everything like that. And I'm a non-judgmental guy. My experience with the different powerlifting feds and sort of drug testing and all that, I can coach guys through their cycles and all that. You got to tell me what you're doing, why, and then we can come up with a plan. But it's just about honesty. And my real when I sit down with them, both financially or in the gym, it's the same reason. Like, dude, if you give me bad data to work with, you're paying me. What do you want here? And Jack nailed everything. So it's just a case of I just try and tell them garbage data. You give me garbage, you're going to get garbage. You give me good information to work with, we're going to put together a plan and it's going to succeed.
Good point. Brother Theo.
Yeah,
we go to the same gym, so you see it all. So give your advice.
It's what you guys said, and for that, it goes beyond that for me. It's just life. We all got to be honest to each other. Like I'm not gonna. I had a group of females that I used to train. I used to call them Diva Camp, and you got to be totally honest with your people. You got to be telling them, what's real and what's not. What goals that are more realistic for each individual when it comes to fitness. But I'm also not going to just sit there and sugarcoat and just, even if, like, I had free clients. I had some free clients, friends, families, such like that or whatever. I'm not going to sit there and just tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes you got to be brutal. And if you can take it, cool. If you can't, then hey, maybe you need to find somebody that's going to stroke your ego, because I'm not that guy.
I agree with all parties involved. I've realized during the first few months with Kevin, it was very important to definitely get into the details, because without the details, you can set yourself up for failure. And even in life, sometimes if you don't have all the details to something, you definitely can make a critical error. Jack, I know you said you had a question, so I'm going to throw your question.
All right, this is for the panel. I'll give my two examples first. So my question for the panel, what are things that you would block someone for or give a warning to block someone for on social media, like your boundaries? This has happened to me recently. One boundary that I have is that I don't allow people to criticize my lifts on my social media pages. If they do, I give them a warning and I say, hey, look, I have good coaching. I'm paying good money for coaching. So it's a distraction when I have random people, especially that don't lift, giving me that advice. And I also have the resources of elite lifters to get all that information from, like Ryan here. I could hit up Ryan and ask him anything, and his information is going to be better than any rando off the internet that said they benched 405 in 1976. I train with elite power lifters and that. So that's one thing. It's not because ego thing. It's not because I don't like. It's just that, and I'm not going to. I'm fully involved with my coach, and I listen to what my coach says and not what other people say. So that's one boundary. The second one, this is actually pretty funny, is DMing me pictures of your genitals. I don't want to see that shit. It's fucking disgusting. I've had both females and males do it within the past 2 weeks. And I just, automatically block. Don't even a warning. I'm just done with it. This guy went ahead. I guess he was a bodybuilder. Sent me the photo. I opened that stuff right when I woke up in the morning, saw it, was horrified, was traumatized. I'm thinking about calling counseling, getting my PTSD therapy. And this thing is oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send that to me. I'm like, how do you accidentally mess someone in Instagram? You have to go ahead and hit that little icon to send a dick pic. And if you're sending dick pics, you're blocked anyways. So those are my two boundaries. My big thing for 2024 is, not, setting boundaries and being assertive.
So Jack, before we get to your question, we had somebody pop in, a surprise guest. Mr. Can you please and let everybody know who you are? Even though we all know who you are, but please just announce yourself for the people at home.
Yeah, I think there's a few people on there that may know me. Kevin and maybe Ryan. My name's Anthony Perez. Glad to be here, Norris. Thank you for inviting me to be on your podcast. Just here taking it all in. The last person that you had on, that was hilarious. I feel for you, brother. I didn't grow up in the age of instant social media, so I didn't get that kind of feedback. When I was younger.
I got a poor bleed in my eyes.
So anyway, but thanks for having me, Norris.
All right. Who want to take part one first? You want me to take it? You want to take it first, Ryan?
Yeah, I'll go for answering Jack's question there. I run a couple of really big social media groups, several where I'm the mod and admin, hundreds of thousands of people. There's not a lot that gets under my skin. I almost block nobody, and it's usually just for belligerence or trying to prove a point way past when it's dead, whether they're right or wrong or anything like that, because I just don't care with dealing with so many folks on that socials. You can't get under my skin. Just try. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And I don't even care when people critique my lifts. And oddly, the one thing I want to throw out there, Jack, is I've actually picked up the odd piece of advice from a rando on the internet that was useful. Now I'm talking that hit rate is 1 in 1,000 dumb comments or something like that. But I kind of leave myself open to learning. And I say that to anybody because I have had useful tips. Now, if someone gets all I bench 405 and whatever, and I'm like, bro, this is triple body mass on my back. Put up a lift before you say something. You know what I mean, right? And usually that quiets them down. Or, okay, great, post a video and we'll have a chat, right?
Or open powerlifting.
That's one of the big ones in the group SBD. that I'm on the admin squad for. Those are the rules, man. Like let's see your open powerlifting entry before you get too cocky. No, that doesn't mean a good person can't say, hey, try this, move your foot a little over to something. You know, I mean, like whatever. I'm just making something up without an open powerlifting entry. But you can't unequivocally say no advice, in my opinion, anyway, right? But I don't block anybody for anything. And if I do get some genital pics, which I have before, if they are, you know, pleasant on the eyes, I'm still not going to reply or do anything. If they're unpleasant on the eyes, I have literally looked at their friends list or whoever and flipped it to other people on their friends list.
Oh!
And that's my, like, you want to send me that shit? Your mama's getting it, your dad's getting it, whoever, because that's all listed on Facebook, man, unless you got your privacy settings set up, and most people don't. And I'll flip it to their wife or I'll flip it to their husband or whatever. And that usually stops it all real quick, man. So
Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll try that next time.
Brother Theo.
Yeah,
that is hilarious, right?
Yeah, just like what Jack said. The main thing for me is on my social media, I let them witness. I say I want you to witness everything that I do. I don't really got an issue with people commenting, you know, because like I said, I come from bodybuilding, you know, so I do a lot of full range of motion and I do a lot of half reps. So, you know, I get a lot of comments. You know, I might bust out 315 for 20 reps, half reps. And someone say, oh, you strong as hell, but this and that. To each his own, I say it works for me. It might not work for you. It works for me. I mean, my resume speaks for itself. But as far as people in my DMs and stuff like that, yeah, you send something to me, you instantly getting blocked because, you know, I don't got time for that. I don't need my wife accidentally getting on my phone and saying some crazy comment that some chick sent me, or even a guy. And a lot of guys out here be slick with this. They you will make a post and instead of commenting on that post, they slide right to your DMs. And I never understand that. I'm like, everyone else, you see all the comments on my posts. Why not comment good shit or good job on the post itself? What made you go and actually click on the message button and you want to have a conversation with me? You want to take it to a different level. And I'm not about all that. We're not doing all that. So you instantly either get blocked or you get reported when it comes to that with me. Because I'm happy wife, happy life. That's how I feel. I don't need my wife seeing no crazy shit on my social media.
Agreed.
Well, let's come to the king of social media. And unfortunately, Jack, as you know, my pages are all open to the public 24 hours, 7 days a week. And sometimes your favorite uncle has a habit of exposing people when they do send me some crazy stuff for all to see. Because like my man said, I don't need no problems from Kimberly Jackson. I don't want that stuff. So therefore, if a woman or man approach me with some crazy nudity, you're definitely going to be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else I post social media content at as a life lesson. As far as people criticizing my lifts, to be honest, for a long time they were right. Anthony and Ryan contest my SWAT 2 years ago was absolutely fucking horrible. All of them told me my SWAT was horrible. I was mad a lot of times for my SWAT being horrible, but it turns out they were 100% correct. So I'm glad I took their advice, but they gave me harsh and stern criticism.
But you got good sources there. You got good sources.
So therefore, sometimes you do got to soak it all in. And you do have people who like to coach behind the scenes, and I just don't pay attention to it. Dale can tell you, we was at the meet, and some guy was telling me that I was going to waste a lift. And I was just like, I was telling him, this is just all noise.
I was just observing the whole thing. I was looking at Norris and I was looking at the guy, and Norris was just tuning him out the whole time. The guy looked like he was getting frustrated because Norris wasn't listening to him. And I'm saying to myself, you're not getting this man out of what he got or what his plan is for. He's here to win. He's here to prove something to himself. You're not going to knock this man off his game plan. But my guy, you wasting a lift, and you should have just went. What you do in the gym? You should have just went straight to that and this and that. Nah, Norris wouldn't hear none of that shit.
I wasn't. I went for my 314 as my safe rep. And then after that, I went for the dangerous rep. I'm like, this first one, I just want to get in the game. And not too many people can state they hit 314 on their first lift. So I wasn't listening to them. So I just learned over time to block out the noise, because sometimes it's just all noise. But sometimes, hey, I'm petty and I will cook you. Sometimes I got time to cook you.
Oh, he did jump.
You riding my eggplant emoji.
He jumped on the bandwagon though. After a few minutes though, he he was loving you then.
Yeah, true story. True story. All right, my next question, and then we just flip back over to Jack if he has any more. I noticed someone said this on TikTok. I got people who compete tested, and I have people who compete untested. So this is a very important question. Is there a big difference between tested powerlifting and non-tested powerlifting? And we're going to our favorite other uncle from Canada, Ryan. Is there a big difference between tested and non-testing powerlifting, or is strong just strong?
Okay, this is a good question for me as an official in a couple of different powerlifting leagues and been to hundreds of meets and competed myself for years and years. On the absolute highest level, some of the all-time world records are natural guys. So a single 1 rep you can get as strong if you have the genetics, the training, the wherewithal, natty, as you can enhanced. The difference, and that's 1 rep max strength. That doesn't work in bodybuilding. It doesn't work in different things like that. The difference being is what you look like at that strength level. You got guys like Jesus Oliveras, the all-time best powerlifter in history right now, bone natty, 400-pound fat guy. You got, if you see some abs at the higher level of powerlifting, they're untestable. If you see that big gut, that guy's on, that's just corn fed, and that absolutely works in 1 rep max strength. Now for the average person, gear will add about 10% to 15% to your strength. It's not as much as people think. But what you can do is you can be as strong as you were at a lower weight class. Like there's some nuances like that. A 242-pound natty lifter is going to be about par with a 220-pound enhanced lifter, right? They're going to look better at the same strength levels. But in terms of absolute 1 rep strength, you're going to get a boost, but it's not heaven's not coming down for you. It's going to help you on recovery, and you're going to look better. And then the trade-off for that, other than the obvious side effects, is injury rate. We see way more injuries on the untested side because your ligaments, bones, tendons don't get as strong as the muscles do as fast. So you're going to see tears, pops, rips, way more on the untested than the natty guys. The natty guys don't get hurt, it seems. Well, they do, but it's much more rare. And it's a body fat percentage game. But an average dude gets about 10% stronger on the gear and gets leaner. That's going to be how you figure that out.
All right. Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ryan. I've done both, trained natural and trained, on stuff. I'm not going to deny that. And over the course of my career, you have to remember, Ryan's probably the closest one to my age. I'm 60, and I've been training since I was 16. Okay. So I had a lot of injuries, they came up, especially in my 40s when I was at my strongest. That hindered me. I'm still having injuries, although I think that's more due to my age because I'm not on anything now. I totally agree with what Ryan said. I think there is a difference that people think that it is some kind of natural, or not natural, but some kind of magic pill. I don't think that's the case. What the magic pill is consistency, whether you're natural or you're on something. Okay. I do agree with Ryan about how people look, because people that are on, and I will say it's just not on one drug, okay, they would look better. And if you're a big guy with big hands and big joints, like Ryan was saying, Jesus Oliveira, he's just a big man, okay, totally natural. Those guys are going to put up some numbers. One of my coach, I'm going to give a shout out to him, Anthony Oliveira. He's 1,000-pound squatter. He's a big guy. He's just a naturally big guy. You can't help genetics. I come from my race are two small people, Mexican and Japanese, right? So I'm going to have probably joint problems. That's just part of it, and I've accepted that. I'm getting ready to have another shoulder surgery, and I'm actually a replacement and another knee replacement. Okay, again, not from anything that I've done recently, things that I've done in the past. So, there's no magic pill, right? There just isn't. And whatever side of the fence you're on, that's your own business. I look at it as like, look, this is the United States. We have a lot of freedoms. A lot of people die for this freedom. I think if that's what you want to do, that's your own business. Okay. I just don't want to compete against someone like that. Right. But that's about all I have to say about that, Norris. Feel free to jump in on anything else that I said.
No problem. Jack.
Yeah, so I don't think anything replaces, a good diet, consistency, like you said, and good sleep cycles and just doing, the things that you need to do, like the small things. Because someone who gets on the gas and doesn't do those things, eats horribly, doesn't get enough sleep, I mean, they're going to be probably, on the peak of whatever they're on, they're probably going to be at the same level as someone who's natural, who takes care of themselves, who eats a lot, who eats high protein, who gets to sleep, who puts in the cardio and does all the little things. So if you really want to get the most out of your cycle being enhanced, you have to have the diet, you have to have the sleep. It doesn't mean you can replace that kind of thing. Now, that being said, if you do the diet well and you get enhanced, I think you can make some real strength gains and definitely some substantial muscle gains and fat loss. But a lot of people don't know how to do it. And they do it dangerously where they don't run, a PCT right or something like that. I've never done a cycle, but I've had clients who have, and I've seen their results, and the results have, been dramatic based on how well they're eating, how well they're training, how consistent they're being. And I've seen other people that have just wasted a cycle because they eat McDonald's and they don't really train as hard as they should be. They think it's, like a thing to replace training hard, and it's not. It'll just give you health problems, kidney problems.
Good point. Before we get to Theo, let me get a few Sean Mabine. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you guys all know him, but he's roughly around, I think, in his 60s, and he's an absolute monster and 100% tested. So therefore, he added in, you definitely need proper nutrition. You definitely need to eat, recover, and stay focused on the main goal. And he says for 60-something years old, he still has all his parts. All right, brother Theo, you'll go.
Yeah, as far as that goes, I can't even touch it because I never been on a cycle before. And like I said, I come from a bodybuilding background, and I know when I was competing in NPC, that's Natty and folks that are on. And nothing beats hard work to me. I bust my ass training. Like I said, I started with modeling, but once I figured out a diet and everything, and I jumped into bodybuilding, it was all up for me, and it was just nothing but hard work, a lot of reps, a lot of weights, and just eating right. For instance, I would go to some of these competitions, and you can tell the people that are on. You can see it in their skin, and most of them would say to me that they already lost because of how I look, and here I'm 100% natty. But yeah, I can't touch too much on it because like I said, I never even tried or thought about touching the stuff, but it's hard work and dedication to me. It's your choice. It's like someone said earlier, it's no magic pill or whatever, whether you on or off, you still got to put in that work. I can't touch too much on it though.
Good point. Let me add in a little rough tidbit myself. As a person who does compete tested, I do take this craft very seriously. And if you do want to use the cheat code, feel free to do so. Just stay out of our lane. Because we have seen people who have been famous, who have gotten rich, who have been on the tested side, and then next thing you know, they get popped. And then next thing you know, you see them running down the highway because they're chasing them down the street because they're a cheater. So therefore, don't be a cheater. We lost somebody. Well, don't be a cheater. That's my main purpose, this whole thing. And then one thing about me, personally, I can't talk for nobody else. Anything I lift in the gym, I like to know it was me. I don't want to know down the road, was it this drug I was using? Was it this drug I was using? Was it something else I was using? I like the knowledge of knowing it was 100% me. That's it. Now, my next question, Jack, you got something?
Mm-mm.
All right. Let's keep this thing moving then. Lately, I noticed a lot of obese federal police officers, a lot of obese police officers, and correction officers. Do you think this could be dangerous considering they work with the public and they may have to lay hands on somebody? Let's start off with Jack, because I know he used to be a private eye, so this right up his game, baby.
I mean,
Shit, hell yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, like, I would rather have, or if I'm a criminal, right? I'm a criminal. I would rather be chased by the obese cop than the cop that's like jacked up and like the LAPD on like trend and like chasing me down like Terminator 2. So yes, obese cop is probably gonna like impede your job as a peace officer. I would definitely say that, and I would definitely say it's not a good example to the public to be that fat and doing that job.
Brother Theo.
Yeah, yeah, I would rather take my chances with an obese cop any day. As long as I ain't handled my license, or my identification yet, and I got a chance that I can run, I might just take that chance.
Just throw a donut at him.
You know, give them a gift card to Chipotle's or something. I don't know. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. You see it, we see a lot of it. I work my full-time job. I work for the State Department, and you know, I have been working remotely since COVID hit. But when I was going into the office, you know, I would see 400-pound men and female, and it's like, why? Like, what can you do if something kicks off in this building? Like, we're gonna have to save you. It's crazy, man. I don't understand it.
Ryan.
I'm going to go a little differently on this one. Let's peel off first responders. Let's peel off law enforcement. Let's peel off military. Everybody is fat as in today's world, man. So it's going to be a fat cop chasing a fat criminal to a Benny Hill soundtrack on a YouTube fail video is what's going to happen. So I don't think they got to worry about stuff popping off when the criminals are just as fat too. I think this has a greater emphasis on society right now, where they're dropping standards for everything. You can be lazy and fat and join the military now. There's no fitness standards because of people's self-esteem and their feelings. There's a bigger problem. Like, I don't think it's a problem with law enforcement being fat. It's a problem with everybody being fat and freaking sensitive and a snowflake. You know, if you're fat, you're fat. And if you can't run, you can't do certain jobs. If you can't, I don't want some fat defending my country in the military who can't run a mile with a pack on or things like that, right? Like, that's a deeper problem. And I don't want to put that one on law enforcement or the military or anything, because that's everybody's problem. And I'll bet even the mob or the bikers or whatever looking at their membership going, bro, you fat, how are you supposed to run? How are you supposed to commit this heist if you 400 pounds, right? So I think even the guys on the other side of the fence, of the other side of the law fence, have that same problem, you know, right? Like, how are you going to run? So I'm going to put that on everybody. Everybody's too fat and everybody's too soft, and they got to stop putting self-esteem or things like that ahead of standards in this world.
Anthony.
Yeah, I totally agree with what was just said. You know, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, you know, of course. But here in the United States, you know, we have the fattest poor people there is, right? If you go to another country, poor people that are begging for food or money, they're as big around as your pinky, right? You know, they actually need help. You know, those governments don't care. Right. So I think it becomes a huge problem. You know, it's not only the United States, right? It's the UK as well. They have a huge problem with obesity. Right. And I think, you know, for me anyway, for what I try to impact, you know, and what I try to tell everyone is, you know, the best days of my lifting career are over. I've come to terms with that. I still like to compete, right, and stuff like that. But I know that the best years, I'll never bench what I used to. I'll never squat what I used to, right? I'll never do all those things, right? However, what I can do is I can try to stay as healthy as I can be. Okay. That means that when I play with my grandkid, I can get down on both knees, right? That, I don't have to huff and puff to bend over to pick her up, right? My grandchild, I think those are the things that sometimes, we lose sight of, in my opinion. And we all started this, all four of us, right? We all started this because we wanted to be healthy. It's not, muscles are a good side effect, I mean, that's great, right? But the reality is we all started this to be more healthy, right?
Definitely.
I mean, that's kind of my take on it, right? And all I can do when I go to the gym and I see people that are struggling, with obesity, and if they ask a question, hey, do you know how to do this? I'm more than willing to help them, right? That's, my attitude towards them, because they're at least in the gym instead of sitting on the couch eating potato chips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's my opinion. But that's how I feel about it, North.
Yeah, it always, it actually warms my heart when I see that. When I see someone who's, overweight, obese, and they're in the gym and they don't even, they're fighting the ridicule. They're fighting all these things just to show up, and
Right.
it takes so much bravery.
Mhm.
And I have nothing but positive feelings to them. And I want to come up and help them, but at the same time, I don't want to embarrass them either. And I just want them to enjoy the gym. So if they ever came up to me, man, I would be more than willing to take them under my wing and help them out, because what a brave thing that they're doing,
Right, exactly. That has to be totally embarrassing for them. I totally agree with what you just said. And you're right. Right.
But let me add in my 2 cents as somebody who does this for their good living. To my federal brothers and sisters, a guy on TikTok recently said to be a member of his gang in jail, you had to be in shape just in case the shit went down. And he said he noticed that the COs were out of shape, so at any time, at any point, if they chose to, they could have taken them. Now, to somebody who does this for their living, I would suggest, especially last time I went to baton class, everybody's huffing and puffing over a 30-second drill. So if you can't make it through a 30-second drill, you need to take your ass to somebody's gym. Because at the end of the day, you're not only not safe for yourself, you're not safe for your coworkers, and you ain't gonna come home to your family if the shit really went down.
Facts.
Now that's those in the fun one, because I thought this was very interesting. I was on a TikTok, and a young lady stated she does not like to date men who are in shape because she feels like they have something to hide and may have a small penis. Whoever want to take that first, feel free to go.
Well, I do have a small penis.
Only somebody probably looking to say that.
Just don't show me.
You gotta be confident to say that.
Don't show me any pictures.
Yeah, right. Don't DM it to you, right? No, again, those are insecurities. Everybody has those, right? And so that's coming from, someone that's probably insecure, with themselves. I'll be honest about, my wife, while she's in pretty good shape for, not doing very much, she's not like, a bodybuilder or anything like that, or, a power lifter or anything like that. She likes to stay in shape. She does her exercises and stuff, and that's fine, with me. I just think that's a biased opinion, and I'll leave that alone for you guys.
So Ryan.
I see where that's going, and I think that has to do with maybe the extreme fitness lifestyle people. If you're not on par with your spouse in terms of a fitness journey or any other hobbies, there could be some strife happening there. If someone's going to the gym all the time or not, or taking 2 hours to get ready to leave the house, like taking longer than their wife to get ready to go out somewhere. counting macros obsessively. I get it, but I agree with Anthony there. It's just that person's insecurity. Everyone should strive to be the best version of their genetics that they can be. You know, that's what everybody, yes, everyone's going to be, people are going to be tall, short, fat, whatever, but you can still be the best you can be by the most basic level of fitness. So I'm going to go with that's just an insecure person being insecure on TikTok. I see where there can be some conflict in any kind of relationships when one person is all one thing and one person's all another. You kind of got to have some interest in the hobbies and things like that. But that's just insecurity. And we should all, everyone, like, I hope that person gets in shape one day or tries to be the best version they can be of themselves.
Exactly.
I like that one. Brother Theo.
Yeah, I never had an issue. My wife loves all my muscles. She goes to the gym.
Just don't DM me that one muscle.
We do a close up on my bicep. Might think it's something else. Yeah, I've heard it though. I've heard females say that I've actually seen it on other people's posts, where a female might say, "Ew, that's too much," or "Ew, this and that," and I just take it as they just mad because their man doesn't have it. There's been plenty of times, like I said, I come from a modeling background, and there's been plenty of times where female they might express that. But once you come out the shirt and they see you got a 6-pack and your chest and your pecs is popping, they forget that they standing next to their man. But for me personally, what I've experienced is actually men saying that. I've seen comments where men would say stuff like, "Oh, you got all that muscle, but that muscle won't stop a bullet."
We talked about it last time.
I don't think it's not too much things out here that can stop a bullet. What is my like? It's just all insecurity, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You can, Theo, you can answer them with, and all that fat isn't going to stop diabetes, so you're a freaking jammer, buddy.
Right.
Brother Ryan. Brother Jack.
Yeah. To go on what Theo said, it's the whole thing about like, oh yeah, like, you know, that won't stop, like, you know, my black belt in karate or whatever. And it's like, I'm not doing this to fight you, bro. I'm doing this to stay healthy. I'm doing this to like, I'm not about fighting people. But no, you know, I think physical fitness, being physically fit, is a sign of self-respect and self-love. You know, when I look for, you know, a dating partner or anything like that, or when I looked for someone who had self-respect and self-love. And one of the best ways to see that is, you know, someone's physical fitness, because they have discipline, they're taking responsibility, and they care about, you know, their body and living a long life. That's what it shows on the outside, at least. You know, it might not be all those things. You know, you don't know what is really happening, but that's what you see. That's the image that you're given. And, you know, it says something. And when I walk into a room and I'm physically fit, like, you know, people respect me a little bit differently and they talk to me in a different way when I was chubbier and when I was fat. And, you know, that's not, you know, knocking anyone who is overweight or anything like that. But you will notice if you make those changes, people will treat you differently and you'll get a certain level of respect. And I think that with this young lady, you know, she's probably dealing with a lot of pain and insecurity, like Ryan said, and she's just projecting that. And, you know, I see that. That's one thing I've learned in 2023 too, is when people say negative things to you or make criticisms to you, usually it's something within themselves that they're dealing with and they're reflecting some kind of pain that they have. So I hope that, you know, she heals and that she goes on a fitness journey and, you know, gets good health and lives a long life.
Yeah, because it could be pain. It could be her previous relationship or whoever she was with was fit and she lost that individual because they got fit and other females started checking that person out and he walked away. You know,
I think you guys nailed this one right
she
on the head,
finds a
and I
way.
cannot add anything to it because I think you are all 100% correct. I think this is a self-esteem issue and not a fitness issue. All right, let's talk about it because I have a bunch of online coaches and business people on this panel. So this is a very good life lesson. I'm trying not to use no names, but I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell my truth. Bad business. Recently, I tried to give someone an opportunity. I ordered some very nice shirts. I waited 3 weeks. Nothing came. Allegedly, they mailed them. It was sat there for 5 extra days. Nothing came. I had to reach out to another party to get some shirts done, which I have on right now. So therefore, as people who do online business, please hold this person accountable and give them some advice for how to conduct themselves business-wise. Also, by the way, they called me and cussed me out when I reported them to PayPal. And I was just like, we're lucky we're not talking face-to-face because you got my money and I ain't got my product. And where I'm from, that can go a different way. So whoever want to take it first, because y'all all do online business, how should this person conduct themselves in the business world?
I think that they should have honored your quest. First of all, they should have returned your money, and if not,
Jack, I got my money back, bro.
Okay, good. They should supply you with the shipping, the shipping link, so you can follow along that. If it did get lost in shipping, then you would know through their provider. So they should have provided all that information. I think that any kind of online business, if they want more business and they don't want bad reviews, then they have to be thorough in the process of, especially customer service. They shouldn't disrespect you and curse you out. But yeah, I mean, like, one bad review can ruin your business online. And me as a personal trainer, I always I've been in some bad situations before where I've been kind of burned by clients and that sort of thing. And just because I don't want the bad reviews or whatever, I just try to end it as amicably as possible. Like, I had to eat a whole month of paid training, just give it away essentially, because I just wanted to end things amicably and just cut the tie right there and not be led on by this person any further, and just be like, you know what, we'll just end it now. I'll give you this month for free, and no hard feelings or anything like that. Instead of me being like, F you, pay me, and then me getting a bad review, and then this person spreading bad stuff around my name. So it's very precarious in, like, the online sphere of doing business.
Good point. I like that, Jack. I like that. Brother Theo, as a person who I bought a hoodie from, the hoodie arrived on time and prompt. And you see me wear my orange, beautiful hoodie all the time at Goals Extra 13. Can you please give this person advice on how they should do business?
You don't want nothing negative attached to your brand. The person I hold with high respect in my life is my mama. So every client to me is gonna get treated like my mama. You getting your merchandise. If you got an issue with it, guess what? You can keep that, and I'm going to send you something else for free. Is not too much you can say about it. It's just like, you don't want to do bad business because you want that client to keep coming back, and you want that client to keep referring other clients. I mean, it's a business. You're trying to make money. I've never experienced that. Like, someone places an order with me, will Get Your Greatness. Guess what? You getting your order. Get Your Greatness is getting you your order. Period.
And it came on time, prompt. It was what I ordered. You were connected with me, said, let me put it back on the shop. Put it back on the shop. What I wanted came directly to the house. No problems.
Yep.
So before let me jump in real quick. See, this person don't realize when I go to Goals, young men walk up to me like, what's going on? Where did you get that shirt from?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get this from? Where did you get this from? People see my face all day, every day, with whatever brand I'm wearing at the time. You don't think they will be curious about where I got that from? So he messed up. he had an opportunity to have me as a walking billboard, and I paid you to be the billboard. So that's what makes it even more disgusting. I'm pretty sure when I wear these shirts to goals, somebody's gonna walk up to me like, "Where did you get this shirt from?" And I'm gonna put that person on because my shit came properly. Brother Ryan, what's your advice as a person who's in the world of business? What's your advice to this person for doing bad business?
This is my job. 9 to 5 is being a business coach is my main gig. The lifting and stuff is my after work stuff or my sideline, my side hustle. Your brand, as Theo said, is a reflection of yourself. That is very important. If you are here to do business, the customer is always right. Buy low, sell high. All these things apply, whether you're in a brick and mortar business, an online business, you own a factory, you own a little store. It doesn't matter if you're selling popsicles on the street corner. You got to satisfy your customer. You got to be on time. Your inventory's got to be tight. Your sales skills have to be there. You cannot overpromise, underdeliver. What people want is to be treated accordingly as a good client or a customer. Now, if you can't say there's something with Nora's that person who couldn't ship you those shirts on time, maybe there was a legit problem. Had they followed up with you, kept you involved in what was going on, saying, "Hey, I got a problem with the supplier from China. How about I send you back your money than you order when I got them?" Like, had that experience gone differently, where would you have thought with your review? Stuff happens, man. Business goes south, deals go bad. Suppliers, stuff happens, COVID, supply chains. But if you treat your customer enthusiastically, keep them updated, keep them along where it's going along the process, it's a different experience. And if you got to walk away, you fund their money and say, "Hey," and then sometimes you get another or a lifelong customer out of that, even if that deal doesn't go through, because, man, that guy treated me with respect. Yeah, those shirts went south, got mailed somewhere, got my money back. But next time he's got a good drop, you might order one still, had they kept you along the process, told you what was up. And there's different ways to do anything. Just treat someone how you'd like to be treated. This isn't business. This is what your mama told you, right? Like, and treat your customers exactly like that. But really keeping them involved along the way, being honest, answering their calls, that is more important than people think. They think, "Oh, I have this amazing product." Nobody gives a shit. Everyone's got an amazing product, man. Everyone's got the new shirt, the new drop, the new training technique, the new 6-minute abs, all that. What they buy from is they buy from you. And that's one of the things that, and, I used to be in the appliance business. Everybody saw, I used to sell stoves for a living. Weird job, appliances. And everyone sold the same appliances. Why did I do so much? Because they bought them from me. It was my brand. It was my ass on the line. And I kept my customers involved, my clients, all of that. And some deals aren't going to work, and that's okay. As long as you end it with respect and a handshake, look them in the eye and say, "Hey, we couldn't do a deal this time, but hit me up next time." And they do. You can still get a customer for life when something goes bad. So in my opinion, when someone gives me bad customer service or bad business, I'll try and educate them, because it's literally what I do for a living. But then I'll drop that bad review, and I'm not going to be snarky about it. I'm not going to be anything. I'm going to tell it like it is. And that one review could cost you tenfold, as everyone, Jack brought up, because, okay, what does it cost you to eat a shirt? We'll use the t-shirt example. Okay, $20 cost, right? You F that guy around and 10 people don't buy a shirt, you just lost $200. Been better to lose $20 and gain a lifetime customer than it would be to lose the next 10 orders, right? So it's really, your brand is yourself. Treat them like your mama would, or you treat your mama. That's what Theo said there. I agree 100%. But even when deals go south, stick your hand out, chest out, eye contact, and tell them like it is.
Good point. And to add to what Ryan said, if he would have definitely, when I was waiting 3 weeks, contacted me, that would have been cool. Because I waited. I actually ordered the shirts to wear for the USPA meet. So I ordered these shirts in advance thinking, I want a badass shirt for this meet. That's perfect advertisement for this guy, and he missed out on. So he didn't know what I had planned for the shirts, what I was going to do with the shirts. The shirt design from what he had online looked very beautiful. I think someone said they may or may not be able to do it for me. We'll see. Fingers crossed, because I still want that type of design, just not through him. But at the end of the day, if he would have been more open and honest about whatever was going on and the situation, I probably wouldn't have been so mad. I'm not even mad, because I'm not going to tell the person, Dave, I'm not even going to leave a bad review. But when I spoke to him, the only thing I told him, it hurts me even more to make this complaint against you because you're one of us. So it hurts me even more that I got to do this to you. But I got to show you some accountability so you learn how to do business in this world. And it hurts me even more I had to do it to him. But It is what it is. Anthony.
No, I like everything that was said. I don't have a lot of experience in the online world, so I really can't relate to that particular problem. But how I can relate is in my own business, in my profession. We have deadlines that we need to meet, and if we don't get those deadlines, then things go wrong, right? People don't get raises, people don't advance, right? So in that sense, I understand your situation. I think just like anything, and I've heard it said kind of subliminally with everyone, is integrity. You know, you conduct your business with integrity. You do what you say when you're going to do it. And, you know, I don't have an online business. Most of mine is, you know, brick and mortar, you know, gym. I've thought about it, online stuff, but right now, because I'm working full time, and I'm not using that as an excuse, I just don't want to hustle that hard. I'm going to be honest about that. Okay. But anyway, I agree with everything that was said. And I think what it comes down to is integrity. I did have an experience where I was going to buy, and I did buy some banners from a certain individual. And when I approached them for shirts and shorts, they started giving me all these reasons about the cost as well as when they could supply them, which was outside of the time frame that I had. And I just did not do business with them. But that was face to face. So again, it wasn't like online. You know, for you, for all you people that are doing, you know, business online, you know, I don't know how to navigate that world as of yet. Not to say that I never would, but, and that's really all I can say. I think the first thing that kind of underlines everyone's opinion here or advice here is that, you know, conduct your business with integrity.
Facts. We learned a life lesson. Conduct your business with integrity.
Right.
All right, I'm tired of this debate. It's time to settle this debate right now, right here. We have 70 years, probably 100 years of experience in this panel alone. So this debate is going to end today. How rare is it for the average person and the average gym goer to lift 215 or 315? I don't care who take it first. Let's end this debate. How many people you seen with your own BDIs who don't compete in powerlifting bench press 225 or 315? How rare is it? I'm tired of this debate because some people like 1%. Some people like, no, it's more people than that. That's ending this debate right now. Brother Jack, you start off because you're a U.S. powerlifter. So
Yeah.
You say with your own BDIs, push that 225, 315.
I mean, 225 at a public gym is like, you know, one of the greatest accomplishments.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like one of the things that when you go to the gym, that's like one of your first goals is like, someday I'm going to bench 225. And when you bench 225 in a public gym, people look at you. They like turn their eyes because there's not many that can do that. It takes dedication. So 225 is a great landmark for the gym. In powerlifting, it should be your warm-up. You know, depending on weight class. But 315 is very impressive in the gym. It's like one of those things where, you know, you rarely see it, you know. It's like seeing the chupacabra or something. But it's great, you know, like I've benched 315 in a public gym before, and the looks I got were like kind of crazy eyed, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But yeah, it's very rare. In powerlifting, it's, you know, it's something that you should try to get to in powerlifting to really, you know, continue to like progress and compete as a career as a powerlifter. You know, like I said, I've done 315 in the gym, but I haven't done it on the platform yet. The most I've done on the platform is 310. So I haven't quite broken that yet, but you know, that's a goal of mine. So both great numbers. But yeah, one is, you know, I would say 315 is kind of like the gold standard for when you're competing, and 225 is the gold standard when you're just a, you know, average person in the gym, you know, putting in that effort. So they're both very impressive.
All right, before I get to Theo, let me explain where we work out at. Currently, we're all playing around with the new 100-pound dumbbell wheel plates that they bought at Goals, and everybody's been touching them. So I've seen people literally bench press 200s on each end, a 45 bar, that's 245. So in the world of Goals Extra 13, I got to up these numbers. So how rare is it for Goals Extra 13 only? Because, you know, we work out with some pretty serious guys. Let's make it 235, and let's make it 325 for funsies. Brother Theo.
Look, man, you know, my thing is benching. I love benching. So ain't nothing. I remember the first time I slapped the two plates together. Ain't nothing better than hear them two sounds of the two plates slapping together. That was a long time ago. As far as our gym goes and Golds, it's a few guys in there. They'll touch. We got the 100-pound plates, like Norris said. Now they'll touch the 100-pound plates, or they'll slap the two plates together, and they'll get up under it. You know, and I'm eyeing, you know, because benching is my thing, and you know they might move it for about 2-3 reps, you know, and I guess because for their body size, it's impressive, you know. But when you surpass that, it gets kind of old. It's like, you know, 225 is kind of a warm-up for me now. That's my warm-up weight. I warm up with it. I hit it for 25 reps, and then I move on to bigger things. I guess to them, though, it's impressive. So they get up, chest out, chest pumped up. You know, they just did an achievement. They wanted everybody to eyeball them because they slapped the plates together, the sound. They heard the clanging. But as far as 315 goes in it, now it's a different story when it comes to the 315 in our gym. When someone throws the 315 on, then you know they've been doing some work. And there's not many guys in there that'll do it. Norris to throw the 315 on there, he already know. I'll be across the other side, on the other side of the gym. I can hear the plates. I hear all three of the plates slap together. I'm over there with them instantly. But yeah, it's 225 to me is impressive, and I guess it depends on your body size and your experience. But if you've been a guy that's been a faithful member, like we got a lot of them in Goals that's been there for years, and they've been doing 225 for the last 5 years for 2 reps. You might want you might want to do something different. You might want to just give it up. You might want to go back to the machine. You might want to go back to the drawing board.
Back to Planet Fitness for you.
Yeah,
Brother
you might want
Ryan.
to go back and Planet Fitness on the Smith machines there. Matter of fact, I got a guy, an older cat that I know. They just recently opened up a gym around my neighborhood. I don't know if y'all familiar with it. It's called One Life Fitness. They just opened one that literally like 5 minutes away from me. I refuse to go there because it's too pretty for me. But he was going to Planet Fitness before that. And he has the slingshot that's made by Mark Bell.
Oh,
and
no.
at Planet Fitness, he would normally put 3 plates on the Smith machine. And he would kill it, 5 reps. And he's about 165 pounds.
I know you talking about. That guy taught me how to bench press, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not going to say his name, but he taught me how to bench press.
He went to One Life, and he said he almost cried because he felt as though Planet Fitness with the plates, all the plates he was throwing in, set him up. He went there, got on the bench, he put the 315 on there, and he almost died. It's the 315 is a different game. It's just a different animal in itself. Like if you're not there, you're not ready to jump out there with the big boys, you gotta go ahead and keep on working. I say keep working with that 135. Get your rep games up with that 135. Get you a nice full pec. Get you a nice full pec muscles and just leave the 225 and the 315 alone. Leave it for us. That's it.
Brother Ryan.
All right, I've thought about this one and debated it many times. And in my job, it's all about numbers. I got multiple computer screens around me right now, and I'm going to drop some numbers on y'all. Do you know that if you could bench press 225 pounds, you are one of the strongest men on earth? We suffer on this panel here from something called perception bias. We live, breathe, eat, and crap the gym. We're on Instagram. We're on socials. We're watching big fellas do crazy lifts. We're going to powerlifting meets. You're bodybuilding. You're seeing guys throw weight around that is not normal. But that becomes normal to our experience in our lives. And then same with on the internet when people are like, oh, you only bench this, right? I have open powerlifting up here on the side. This is for 315. Only 125,000 people in powerlifting history have put up 315 in a meet. There's 8 billion people in this world, and there is 4 billion men, and 125,000 have done it to a competition standard. That is 0.0000001% of the population can put up 315 properly. So you got to put that in perspective. 225 is also like that. Now, in a powerlifting contest, 225 isn't going to get you into a door. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, gee, thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Hold my water bottle for me. You know, right? But in a regular gym or in real life, that is fantastic. And I always try and tell that to guys in the gym when they hit it that first time. Lay off the Instagram, bro. And, you know, think about this. 4 billion men, 1 billion are too old, 1 billion are too young, 1 billion in Africa and Asia don't have enough calories to weigh more than 100 pounds. Like, people with disabilities, people short, people tall, like, you are in an elite club. And we have to remember that all of us on this call, we're supermen compared to a normal person. When we go to a mall, when we go to that food court, and, you know, right, like, we are supermen. And I try and encourage people to remember that they have superpowers compared to Gen Pop people, and to be thankful and to be and think about that for a second. Like, 125,000 men have put up 315. That sounds like a big number, but now when you think there's 350 million people in the States, there's 40 million in Canada, there's how many lifters that go to how many meets and thousands of meets, and they don't put it up. Jack, you're going to do it next time, but you haven't done it yet. Yet how much time you put in the gym? It's a fantastic lift to put up 315 and put up 225. And I'm a shit bencher, Theo, so I'm not going to go up on you on that one, all right? But all y'all need to start squatting more. That's I'll just leave that on there and talk about leg training. And you guys can watch this old man put up 600-pound squats. You know, you spend too many days benching, boys.
Yeah.
But I gotta say one more thing on that. It's like a gift and a curse. Like, for me, it's like Norris. No, I just had sinus surgery last week, and my wife won't let me go to the gym till 2024. And she says, because you're gonna go in there, you're gonna be lifting 200 pounds and all that heavy weight, and I'm like, that's not heavy for me, you know. And I be trying to understand. And my father-in-law, he stays in Planet Fitness. He's a nice jack guy too, but he doesn't lift like us, but he lifts good enough. And he says the same thing. They cry about the 225 to 200 pounds. Well, you're gonna put 200 pounds in your chest, this and that. And I try to explain to them, like, I'm not the average Joe that's pushing that 225. The 225 to me is like 135. So it's like a curse in some instances.
Good point, brother Anthony. Before I jump in,
Yeah, a lot of really good things said here, and I really appreciate Ryan. It's like, y'all need to squat more. I hate to be that old guy. I used to do this, right? But I'm gonna have to say, you know, I was a big squatter. You know, when in my mix, they were big. Okay, I was always scratching at Powerlifting USA Top 100, right? And until I seen what the bottom bench was like, you know, 576. I was like, well, I'm 500. I am not going to make 576. You know, that's single ply. That's back in the late 80s, early 90s, right? But for the purpose of your question, right, I will answer that. I liked what Ryan said about average people can't even, you know, bench 225, right? You know, I'll go one further. You know, average Gen Pop can't bench their own body weight. Okay. So that itself is a big thing. You know, I can speak about my experience and how it felt for me, you know, to answer the question. But to me, you know, I hate to use the word, but, you know, it depends. It depends how much you weigh. It depends on how much, you know, how long you've been training, right? If a kid's been training for a year and he's $160, right, and he can do 225, that's pretty goddamn impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just being honest, you know. And I don't know how you guys, you know, train, but like, or, you know, train your clients or whatever. But someone that has never, you know, benched or had very much weight experience, I want to see 30 push-ups, good push-ups, before I let them touch a bench.
100%.
Okay. You know, so in that sense, I totally get what Ryan's saying. What I will say was that, you know, I remember the first time, but sure, everyone remembers the first time they did 225. But for me, the biggest thing was when I hit 315, right? I mean, and you guys can relate to this. How many times did how many reps did you do at 295? How many sets did you do it before you got 315? You know, for me, you know, I don't know, it was probably 6 months, right? And I did 5x5s, and then I'd change it up the next time I come in. Then I'd do another 5x5, but it'd still be 295. And about that 6th week, I put that 3 plates on. And I was like, oh, that's it. So I got 3, right? But the whole point was the amount of work that it took, right? So it depends on, again, I hate to be that guy, but it depends, right? Is like how long you've been training, what's your base, right? To settle the argument for me, I'm just going to settle for myself. Okay. The first time I benched 315, I benched it for 3, but I worked it, and, we've talked about this all during this hour, nothing beats hard work. Nothing beats consistency. And that's what it takes. Right.
Yep.
And, I think, and further down, I'm looking at benching more in my next meet, of course. A little bit older, a little bit more wiser. I don't know about wiser, but a little bit more beat up. And I still do single ply. And that's the reason why, because I am beat up. And, however you guys think about that, to me, I'm at the age where I don't really care anymore. I just want to stay healthy. Right. And I want to stay strong, Again, I think for me, it's 315, but the guys that are small, or I shouldn't even say small, that are lighter weight, that don't have a lot of training under the belt, when they hit 225, that's a huge thing, right? I mean, all of us, I think, the reason why we could bench at all when we first started is because we had a base, back in the old days, we had to do PE. Right? They don't have to do that anymore. Right? So I think that is what's kind of changed. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm going to end that.
Well, let me speak as a person who went on a platform and not only benched 315, but 315 plus. So I'm just going to talk my talk. If you come into our fitness space as power lifters, please, please, please stop posting your 225 videos or your 315 videos with half your ass off the bench or half your ass throwing the weight off the bench. If you're going to do it and claim you did the 315, I need to see you do it with a pause and underneath for some type of control. If not, fuck you. That's just me.
Agreed.
That's just me. I can't talk for anybody else. I'm going to talk for Norris. F you for life. That's annoying to me.
Yeah,
100%. I see all types of guys.
I'll talk for Jack on that one.
In the gym and
Block.
challenge them to contests and half their ass be off the bench. I'm like, you lost. If you ran to a United States powerlifter, you lost. You get no white lights, my guy. You lost. Don't wait for a referee to tell you down. And wait for a referee to tell you up and then call me. You lost.
Yeah. Definitely.
At that point, you lost. Until you have a referee behind you and tell you what to do, kiss my ass. My next thing, talking about bench press, because this was annoying to me. I saw it on Instagram. There's somebody who go to our gym, but it was just annoying to me. He bench pressed 345 with wrist wraps, elbow wraps, half his ass off the bench, and then say, sign up for my bench pressing program. I wanted to cuss him out, but I'm bringing it to the panel, and maybe the panel can give this guy some advice on why we don't want to sign up for his bench pressing program. I'm going to give it to Theo first, because I don't know if he saw the video, but I was just like,
I didn't see it.
This is not the video you want to post as sign up for my bench pressing program.
Yeah, I'm not signing up to none of that type shit.
Crazy.
This is straight up. This is straight up like that. For those type of guys in the gym, you already know, Norris. I when I come in the gym, I just come in there and I zone out. And I'm not there to try to impress anybody and none of the weight that I throw on there. I might throw 4 or 5 on there. And for me, when it comes to benching, I like to shock my body first because I like to do reps. You know, I do a shitload of reps, and I use 4 or 5 to basically shock my body. So when I come back down to 3, it feels lighter. And it's a lot of guys in our gym, like he said. I don't know who exactly he's talking about, but it's a bunch of them type of guys in there where, you know, they get on the bench and they feel as though they done did something and you need to follow them. It's kind of pathetic. I recently just did a video with one of the guys that work in the gym that I know. He's cool. He wanted to do a collab video with a bunch of other younger cats in the gym, right? And I know these younger cats in the gym, they feel a certain way about me, you know, because when you're in the gym, you can sense who likes you and who doesn't. And they know that I come in there and I bench. They see me bench, but when they're on the bench, you know, they gotta make themselves seen. They yelling, screaming, jumping up, I'm a fucking monster, and it's 225. You know what I'm saying to myself, like, you didn't really do nothing, guy. Like, have several seats. And I might be on the bench next to him, and then I throw up 4 something, and then they looking stupid. But anyway, we did a collab video, and the video was supposed to be us showing that us members and goals can get along and you know, to show the public, to show people outside that, you know, we can work together on this. We all in this together. This is fitness. We all here for the same goals. Even though a lot of these cats in this gym, they act like they're the only ones that's supposed to get muscles or gains. We did the video, and the younger cats, they went first. We only had 225 on the bar. The younger cats went first, and we were supposed to sit around after each set. The next person go, and we were supposed to stay around the next person and cheer the next person on. You know, motivate them basically. And when it came to my set, they left. And it spoke volumes to me because it was like, it's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, I won't be getting no bench program. What you gotta say, Norris?
I saw the video.
You saw it.
I thought it was editing because I noticed you kind of went out of order in the video.
Yes.
And I didn't know what was going on. But I know the people you're talking about, and they're all coaches. Mm-hmm. They don't speak to me. I don't speak to them. Mm-hmm. I leave them alone. Everybody else in the gym speak to me, but those only, like, I know you're talking about. Yeah. I see them all the time, and they ain't never said no words to me, and I ain't got no words to say to them. Yeah. But I saw the video, and I thought it was weird because it kind of looked like you went out of turn. Yeah. And then your reps were really, really short, and I was like, I know my guy can do way more than this shit. So I was like, something was weird there. But it was crazy. It was crazy.
And you couldn't tell that they had disappeared on us, but they disappeared.
I kind of didn't notice. I didn't see them no more in the video after when you came up. So yeah, I noticed all. I noticed, bro. I do social media for a living, so I peek every angle. Mm-hmm. So, but finish your story though.
Yeah, that was basically it, man. Them the type of guys, Norris, that are hollering and screaming and want you to buy their programs, but they're not doing anything.
Brother Ryan, please educate this guy of why we don't want to buy his bench program.
Well, when you said the wrist wraps, the elbow wraps, I was like, okay, you know, it's fine. But when you said the butt lift in there, it was like, oh, snap. You know, it's I don't care how strong somebody is to learn from them, but you can tell instantly. You look at that video, say he did 260, he did 225, he did 185, and he was a little guy. He did that with tight form. You can see that from across the gym, and you know he might know what he's talking about. You know, like we sometimes, again, back to perception bias, we forget how strong we are versus Gen Pop and stuff like that. But doing something properly has nothing to do. You know, I see some big MFers at the gym just muscle shit up and do it terribly and get hurt and all that. And I still respect that less than some cat in there doing his stuff. He's tight, his form's good. And I might go listen to some guy's bench seminar. Now, for me to go to a guy's bench seminar, if he's only putting up 350 pounds, he better be 150 pounds. But, you know what I mean? If he, you know, right, or it's, you know, what's he going to teach me? Mm-hmm. You know, I went to a squat seminar once, and it was the same kind of thing. That guy's squat PR was only 500 pounds. Now, guy was about the size of a horse jockey, and he had a world record at the time. That 500-pound squat was a world record. But I just using that as the example, right? If the form's tight, that's cool. but the butt lifting or I went to one meet and I counted my macros once. Now I'm an online coach. That shit's just got to end. Right? Let's see some expertise.
Yeah.
But it's really, I can respect anybody that has good form or trying to learn the good form on the journey. But that you should, buddy, if your butt's lifting, you should know better, and you shouldn't be advertising your services. Don't post that video. My butt's lifted. I'm going to say my butt has absolutely lifted, on a bench, max effort or something. Of course, I have bailed all kinds of lift. Sometimes I post them, but I'll say, yes, my butt lifted. No need to comment or whatever. But, in general, it's about the tightness of the form on some of that stuff that I can respect.
To be honest, Ryan, I've asked this guy to do a USAPA meet, and he has denied me each and every time because he feels like he's not strong enough yet. And I would suggest to him that he doesn't bring that shit to any type of platform because he's going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Robert Anthony.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm listening to the stories and everything, and because look, I've done max effort, my ass has come off, and I'd say the same thing. It's just like, well, I got it, but it's not good, right? Again, I'm an older guy, right? And I'm just gonna give you a story, okay? So I was 18 years old, I wrestled and played football and stuff. And I walked into a gym. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, which at that time it wasn't all that big. It's about 300,000 people. Okay. I went to the bad part of town. Okay. And there's a gym and it was called Sailors. Okay. And I'm not exaggerating. One time I go into the locker room and there's a guy injecting his junk with test.
Wow.
That was the kind of gym I was in. Okay. All right. So these guys were monsters. Every guy in there was a monster. I don't know if you guys follow wrestling at all.
Yeah.
But, Tiny Lester went there to work out. The Barbarian
Zeus.
Brothers.
Tebow.
Ultimate Warrior. He come into whenever they came into town. That's where they would go work out at, right? So I'd take off work anyway to go see it. But anyway, so I grew up around these monsters, right? And they taught me a lot. They taught me a whole lot. Number one, that I wasn't that strong, number one. Number two is I didn't really have room to brag about anything unless I hit a record. Okay. And even then it was a mild brag because at that time of my age, right, that's only good, it's a junior class, right? It's not really the men, right? And it wasn't, all-time world record. And I think in this age of social media that people have the platform to post these things, right? And to say that they're a machine or a beast, right? When the reality is, kind of what Ryan was saying was that we're a small group of people, right? And if you put that small group of people together, the guy that's posting these videos of, with his tail, coming off the bench, it's not very impressive. And I try to take that lesson because I always go back to when I was younger, right? And what I seen because, what is it? You can't buy experience, right? You just have to experience it, right? And so I think those are the things that kind of hurt the sport of powerlifting, and also it kind of hurts the camaraderie of, people in a facility, in a gym, whether that be a Gen Pop gym or a small gym. I don't know how many times I've been in the gym and I've asked someone to give me a spot when there was I usually work out super early in the morning, right? To give me a spot. Sometimes they're okay, but a lot of times they act like I'm bothering them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm just asking for, not even a minute of your time. You know what I mean? So I think that all kind of
community. It should be a community.
Yeah, right. There's not a sense of community anymore. Back in the 80s and the 90s, especially, we worked out as a group, right? Almost like a gang mentality, right? We'd go in there and freaking knock it out. Then we'd get done and we would leave. We wouldn't bother anybody, or anything like that. And yeah, we would spit, cuss, and everything like that. But it was a community, and you just don't really see that a lot anymore. And I think it's because of social media. I'm no expert. I'm not a sociologist, right? But I think it is due to that. I mean, the younger gentleman here, I think he would probably be better to actually answer that type of thing. Is it the social media that's ruining, the sport?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so
Yeah.
because everybody's about self. They're about is attention, and they want to show off and they want to show what they can do and everything. It's all
Yeah.
about social media now. Yep.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, and I'm in the gym and I'm grunting and groaning and sniffing ammonia, right? The reality is, I'm a freaking 60-year-old goddamn man that's about ready to get his shoulder replaced. This shit hurts, okay? But I'm doing the best I can, and if other people don't like it, I'm sorry. you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
again, I think the younger gentleman would be better to answer this type of question, though. To be honest with you,
Brother Jack, any point before we wrap this thing up?
About the benching off the bench.
Yeah.
That person should probably get like a BBL, investor money, because their butt is planted on the bench, so they can have their crappy form and their butt will still be on the bench. But not buy his product. Like I said, I have a really good coach, really good mind for the sport. His name is Justin Calkin, and what he does for me is he really emphasizes staying healthy and staying in the sport for a long time, because I'm 43, about to turn 44. So he understands how important that is, to keep me healthy throughout off-season training and that sort of thing. So it was like Ryan saying, I look for the person that emphasizes form more to learn from, than necessarily being able just to be freakishly strong and throw something off your chest. I need to learn the finer points of that. I need to learn the leverages. I need to learn the technique. So that's why I'm so happy that I have such a great mind as a coach to guide me through that. But that's what I would say for that is he should probably get a BBL if you want to compete.
Well, let me jump in. First and foremost, to talk about coach. We all know my coach is Kevin, and sometimes I hate him. Sometimes I really, really hate him. And you guys see the emojis. Sometimes I send him, and I almost sent him the middle finger one day. But at the end of the day, it's all about fucking control. Mm-hmm. It's all about control. Matter of fact, I have a guy right now reaching out to me for help, and he keeps on sending me videos. I'm like, all right, anybody can be a gunslinger. I need to see control. So I was like, next time I go to the gym on my next bench day, I will send you a sample of control. Because anyone can be a gunslinger, but you have to demonstrate control of that weight. And once you realize that, you can become an absolute fucking monster. Now, to speak about the gym community, look at us. I met a few guys online, and one guy, I met him at the gym because I needed a spot that day, and he was willing to help out. So therefore, you never know what may happen if you reach out to someone and be an absolute good human being. Yep. Now, unfortunately, Gold's Gym as a 13 is kind of a little weird. And if you don't have some type of serious baseline of strength, the respect level is you got to be an alpha to get respect in there. And I think once you show them you're an alpha, they give you your respect. But most of those dudes in there, they try to go on to their next IG trick or whatever they're doing in there, or they try to hustle somebody out of $1. So it's weird in there. But I've met some good brothers, and I truly love you guys because you guys keep me encouraged, you keep me inspired, and we all compete or have some type of common goal in mind. So my last question, the New Year's coming up. One of us is going to Vegas to compete in drug testing nationals. I'm not going to name no names. I'm not going to name no names over there. But what is your goals for the next upcoming season? And I'm going to try to talk one guy to powerlifter so he can be in Vegas with me. But what's your guys' goals?
Yeah, congratulations, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hard work pays off. The SWAT still got a little bit of work to do. Deadlift still got a little work to do. And if I can ever get those two down with great form, the world will be in fucking trouble. Because even with bad form, I'm pretty good at both those lifts. But the form could be a little better on deadlifts. I'm pretty sure you guys know that already. And the SWAT can still get a little better as well. But if I ever get that deadlift down, and if I ever pull what I think I'm capable of pulling, the world will be in fucking trouble. Because I'm supposed to be pulling, if I'm benching 3, I'm supposed to be pulling maybe 530 deadlift. And if I ever pull that, the world will be in fucking trouble. But Jack, what's your New Year's goals? What's your next goal, my guy?
So yeah, this March I'm gonna go to Texas and I'm gonna compete in Southern Regionals for WRPF. If I'm gonna try to take a bunch of national records there, I'm competing in the Masters 198. I think I can take 3 national records and 4 California state records. So that's what I'm going for. And then that will get me into what, if I get a good enough score, which I will, it'll get me into nationals, WRPF, which will be in St. Louis at the end of October. And Norris, because you told me about the IPL World Masters, or Masters World Competition 2025, I'm gonna try to get that Class 1 and punch my ticket to IPL Masters Worlds for 2025. And those are my powerlifting goals. And I'm also doing aerial performance. My friend has been teaching me aerial performance because she said that like male female duos can make good money doing it. So we're training that, so for a big not coordinated power lifter, for me it's a real challenge, but it's been a lot of fun learning. So I would say, go ahead and try something new for 2024.
Ryan, I've been seeing you do all the crazy flips. I'm proud of you. And I will also see you either at that Worlds or I'll see you at Drug Tested Worlds. One of these Worlds we're going to be at on Team USA, because I'm tired of this one guy from Team Canada. I was on Team Canada. We ain't going to say no names. Brother Theo, what's your goals for this upcoming year, my guy?
My goals, first of all, let me show y'all this. As you know, I teamed up with Al Golds. I got an event actually next month on the 13th. It's a rep-off event. It's going to be consisting of deadlifts, bench, and squat. It's something like I'm not sure if y'all familiar with, but CT Fletcher, Iron Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For like the last 5 years, I actually been training for that, but every time they drop the date, I can't never make it. So the owner or the GM for the goals that me and Norris goes to, he approached me because he seen me on Instagram. He said, that why don't I have an event with him at our goals? So we have that happening on the 13th. I'm looking forward to that. I'm still training for CT Fletcher's Iron Wars. So whenever I get over there, I can kill it. That's pretty much it.
Well, I will also be there for the 13th. I don't know how much this powerlifter is going to be able to do, because one thing we don't focus on is a bunch of reps, but we're going to see how that 225 roll on that particular day. And I got myself at least putting up a good 15.
Let me add, it's just not reps though. We doing the competition consists of body weight, it's females and males, body weight reps. For females, a certain weight reps or 1 rep max. And how it's going to work is for each winner of the category, you go head to head for a cash prize. It's free for spectators. So, hey, I'm just trying to bring something.
At this point, bro, you gave me the cheat code, because no one in there, except for maybe another powerlifter, is going to be able to see me on max rep or a max weight goal. No one in there. There's nobody in there. Because we just going to put the 340 on, and then I'm going to show them control. Brother Ryan, what's next, my guy? What's next?
Well, what's next might be me putting that singlet back on and flying down to one of your neighborhoods and showing you what Team Canada is all about. But if I don't do that, I've been competing in powerlifting for 7 or 8 straight seasons, and I'm taking this year off, and I'm going to lose a bunch of weight and get a little bit shredded. So I'm doing the 75 hard for New Year's, working on my cardio, working on some abs. I don't know if I'm going to do a bodybuilding show or anything like that, but I want to concentrate on my aesthetics this year for the first time in my entire fitness journey. Instead of just putting up numbers, I'm going to try putting up some reps and counting some calories. And then later in the year, the wife and I are training for, well, we're training now to do something epic like the Inca Trail and walk to Machu Picchu or something from Cusco. So I'm going to need some hella cardio. And, you know, I mean, I got to drop some useless pounds, but I want to look good and get my cardio up this year so they're new goals. So I'll re-engage. I'll feel invigorated to chase something. I was chasing kilos on the bar for too long. And that doesn't mean I'm done forever, because seeing you guys post your stuff is going to make me want to come back and quiet y'all down, fly down from Canada. Or maybe I'll give you a shot. I'll take the year off. We'll meet in 2025. We'll, you know, we'll talk some smack about Canadians and Americans in IPL Worlds in 2025, boys. But this year for me, it's aesthetics, cardio, and diet. For the first time, I'm going to try some new stuff and pick up some bodybuilding tips. And, you know, something new for me.
Awesome. Well, Ron, feel free to come to Vegas. Kevin said he's coming to Vegas. And unfortunately, me and Jack will never, unfortunately, see you at Worlds because, you know, we're on the Texas side of the fence. You know, we don't mess with the drugs. So, you know,
I'm currently natty. I'm not. Oh, I've known this many times. I'm not a lifetime natty, but I would actually pass a drug test right now, boys. So you might want to zip that because I'd pass the drug test right now.
I'm gonna sneak some trend in your pre-workout so you get.
Well, Ron, if you want to come to the drug testing side of the fence, brother, I would love to see you and whomever you have on Team Canada on the drug side of the fence at my age and weight class, because at the end of the day, you're the only person of this panel who had the great honor to put on a singlet and represent their country, which is my goal. That is the goal. The only goal right now is get through nationals and go to drug-tested worlds.
Let's go.
Let's go. Anthony, what's your goals for this upcoming year?
I kind of got a lot of things going on. I'm going to do one last bench meet this year before I get my shoulder replaced. Shoulder's going to get replaced end of March, and then I got to get my knee replaced 8 weeks after that. So, as you could probably guess, the rest of the year is going to be spent rehabbing and trying to get more flexibility and just get back in shape. You know, professionally, or I should say professionally. Yeah, I should say professionally. I'm retiring when I'm 62, so 2025. So I've purchased some property in Mexico. So by the end of this next year, I'll be starting the transition to move permanently to Mexico. So it's been a long road, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting healthy again. I've got one record that I'm chasing, which is mine, for the old guys in the bench. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'll be fine. But those are the things that I'm looking forward to. I'm just kind of wrapping things down, and probably 2025, I probably won't do a meet, and because I'll be settling in, and I'll find someplace in Mexico where I can go compete at.
I'm pretty sure they got it out there, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, I have no goals. So my goal is to do what I'm doing, stay consistent. You know, I've been very consistent as of late, so I'm going to keep on riding this train of being consistent. The only thing I want to do right now is just compete in drug testing nationals and hopefully step on the stage for drug testing worlds. I have a great support system I can reach out to, and I'm very, very thankful for you all. Please give out your information before I close this thing out if people want to reach out to you.
Right. Cool. Hey, it was great talking to you guys, and it, you know, being introduced to you. I'm sure I'll hear from you again.
All right. You know,
You are.
Take care of yourself. I hope your surgeries go well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
in the mortal words of David Goggins, there's some motherfucker out there right now who wants everything you have. He wants the job you have. He wants the wife you have or husband. He wants everything you fucking have. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But at the end of the day, it's your ass. Salute!
Stay hard, boys.